My name is Louie Northern. I'm the founder of Ascend Aerials, and we are a video production company who specializes in the usage of UAS. Most people call them drones. We create marketing reels as our core competency, everything from single-family residential to luxury resorts, all real estate offerings. We interface in the construction industry, and we'll eventually push into TV and film. In fact, we're going to be pushing into news gathering as well. There are many hurdles or challenges that we've had to sort of interface with and overcome in order to begin production. There are many different nuances, everything from discrete nuances like the weather, climate of the particular day that you have to understand. You have to understand what the parameters are of the location of the site that you're shooting or that you're potentially shooting. You need to understand if you're in a public area, there's a whole list of criteria that you have to adhere to in terms of FAA regulations. Now, the FAA regulations are potentially changing. There's new legislation in place or that is undergoing that is still yet to be seen that could potentially remove the requirement for the pilot's license, for example. But our intention is to operate immediately, and so that was the reason why I went to flight school. This also gets back to what I was saying before, having the capacity, but you also have to have, in addition to those things, the will. It's not a matter of what you want to do, it's a matter of what you're willing to do. And so, and I say that, and what I mean by that is I came to a point where I had been working at this for some time, a year and change, and I came to the realization, well, if I'm going to continue to pursue this, I will have to go to flight school and become a pilot. Before I had that moment, there was no way I was there. Had you asked me earlier that day if I was ever going to be a pilot, I would say, well, probably. Well, I don't know if I would have said probably yes, but I had no intention of doing that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because once that became a hurdle, I immediately, in that moment, as I realized that I needed to do that, I made the decision that I was going to do that. And so it was a matter for me of not knowing that, gee, I want to start this business. I want to start this business and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to launch this startup. And when you're dealing with a startup or when you're launching a startup, you're dealing with extreme unknowns. There's no way to know, and this is a good example of it because when I began, there's no way to know that the FAA was going to require me to become a licensed pilot. And so I currently fly planes, which is a lot of fun, by the way, so it's like a fun byproduct, and it's going to expand my weekend horizon, which also leads back into what I was saying before of not designing a career, I'm designing a lifestyle. And that's one of the things, like more freedom in this lifestyle is exactly what I'm after. We can speculate. It looks like in 2017 we'll have new regulations that may remove this requirement. My feeling is, unfortunately, just based on what I've observed, that regulations will tighten based on the potential for a future accident of some sort. I hope that no accidents occur, but we don't know this, but we do understand how sort of human nature is. And so my thinking is that regulations are going to become more strict, or at least maintain the same level of strictness, which I also think is appropriate for safety. Ascend Aerial's primary objective is to maintain the utmost safety that we can, and so we're going to be operating within the parameters of safety, and then content delivery will be secondary. We'll also do that at a very high level, but safety is paramount for us. And so, we sort of meet them as they come. The exemption, for example, in the beginning, there was no real avenue for operating commercially, and we sort of followed the lead of what was happening in the industry, and this avenue became available of petitioning to the FAA. And then whenever that came available, it was like, well, how do you do that? What do you expect from doing that? Are you going to find success? Are you crafting the right language? The language didn't exist before, so we had to sort of invent this process as you go, and it further supports what I was saying. When you're launching a startup, you're dealing with this extreme unknowns, and so many times you're not only solving a problem, but you're inventing a brand new solution that didn't exist before. We're pushing into a brand new space that never existed before, and so what we'll see, what common consumer will see as a result of this, will be something brand new that many of them have never seen before, much like this compelling content that people see. And that's the reason why people are so attracted to it. There are also unforeseen challenges that we just cannot predict, and so we just have to maintain the proper level of flexibility in order to sort of pivot if we need to, and change our business plan directive, or double down on what we're doing. I had a conversation with a buddy about this pilot thing, and he was like, you have to become a pilot. Like, when I told him, he was like, no, it's like, the game's over, we can't, like, this is it, like, we can't do anything. And I was surprised to hear this perspective, because I had already made up my mind instantly that I was going to become a pilot, but I was like, no, dude, I'm just going to become a pilot. And he was like, whoa. And so, like, it was like this level of thinking, like, that I was just persevered into, that I think makes all the difference in the world.